Hey everyone, it's True Review back at ya with another top 10 list. Well, a little while back I made a video on the top 10 assholes in the Elder Scrolls series. But despite being happy with how that list went, it turns out there are even more assholes that need covering. So with that suggestive comment in mind, here we have the next round of Who in Tamriel is an Asshole. Same rules apply as before, but if you don't remember, then here they are. Only the main entries in the series will be covered, so no Redguard or Battlespire. Also, Arena and Daggerfall still won't be included, mainly because I haven't played Arena yet and I'm having difficulty getting into Daggerfall. Characters who don't appear in any of the games but do appear in lore count on this list. The player doesn't count as a valid entry because you could play as a good guy instead of an asshole. And finally, in addition to this, characters that got mentioned in the last video will not reappear here. So if you're wondering where Nazim is, then go watch the last video I made on this subject. But with that said, let's go look at some assholes that came out wrong. Count Andel Indarys. Although I hurled shit at Countess Ariana Valga not too long ago in my rant on Oblivion, it occurred to me afterwards that there was someone far worse than her. Meet Count Andel Indarys of Cheydinhal. So you want to buy a townhouse in this lovely town, and the abandoned house on the east side is not for sale for some reason, but we don't talk about that. So you go to the Count and ask him to sell you some property. He says no, he doesn't trust you. You then go and do him a massive solid by not only closing the Oblivion gate outside of town, but also rescue his son, his only known child from the realms of Oblivion, and bring him back safely. So by the end of it, you've saved not only the Count's son, but also the entire town. He's so grateful to you that he gives you an okay sword that looks better as an ornament in your house than it does in your hand. Hey, maybe he'll sell you that house now.
I don't trust you enough to talk about that.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. If saving your town, everyone in it, all of its revenue, and your son and successor is not enough to get you to trust me, then I don't know what will. Oh my bad, apparently all it takes is about 400 gold. So saving your town and family isn't enough to earn your trust, but a bit of bribery is. On second thoughts, I think I'll pass. The smell of shit from this arsehole will probably drive the housing prices down in this area anyway. Maven Black-Briar. Anyone else really not like this girl? I've heard people talk about her in the past, but I honestly believe that she rubbed me up the wrong way on a personal level. If someone came into my house wearing a full set of steel armour whilst toting the power of the thumb and an ebony sword, I might think twice about treating him like he's scum. It's like this bitch is under the impression that her hired goons will somehow prevent my blade from becoming acquainted with her internal organs. Maven is kind of like the Michael Corleone of Riften, and does indeed carry some weight around the court. But she's under the delusion that this somehow makes her untouchable, leading her to treat the player like they're completely worthless. What's worse is when she gives you your reward for completing the Dampened Spirits quest. It's a leveled enchanted weapon, but always at a lower level than what you're currently using. So basically, no matter what happens, she gives you a crap weapon. Thanks, Maven. That's really kind of you. I'm just gonna put that there for now, and I'll be back for it in about... Well, see you later. Bitch. Ancano! Fucking Thalmor. Actually, I don't think I need to say any more in this entry, as I've already summed it up in a nutshell just then. Well, we all knew this was gonna happen. The second the Empire got into bed with the Thalmor, everything went downhill, and now the High Elves think that they own the place and are Tamriel's master race. Many of the ones you meet will let you know how much better they are than you and how you shouldn't be screwing around. None more so than Ancano, who can be found at the Winterhold College of Mages. He takes every opportunity to let you know that you should behave yourself and to know your place. That is, right up until he tries to manipulate a powerful artifact that could do everything from making him immortal to destroying the world, and everything in between. It is his actions that has alerted the Psijic Order, who never come out of hiding, to go up to Winterhold in order to let the player know that Ancano is a prick. Well gee, thanks for telling me, because without you guys I wouldn't have known. But it's not all bad, because Ancano is one of the few characters on this list who you're allowed to kill, so happy days.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A seven-nation army couldn't hold me back.
Tiber Septim! And I bet this is a character you weren't expecting to see appear on this list. True review, what the flying duck? You put one of the 9 divines on the list? How could you? Well, 8 if you're a dirty Thalmor supporter. Have we all forgotten that General Talos was jointly responsible for starting one of the biggest wars in Elder Scrolls history? That's right, him and some other geezer from Colovia, who happened to be the next emperor, were one day having a friendly chat when the other guy said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if we owned everything?" To which Tiber Septim said, "Conquer all the provinces!" And then they went and conquered all the provinces. And then he supposedly went over to the new emperor and murdered him because he felt like it. But aren't we forgetting that a war this large is bound to, oh, I don't know, leave a massive trail of corpses behind? And all because they wanted to unite Tamriel? Well, I'm not buying that. Talos, you're not even from Tamriel. It's like they found the biggest asshole around and then gone, someone make that man a general. Now make him an emperor. Now make him a god. Well, no, Tar. I think I'd rather have the Akaviri back.
Take me down, 6 underground.
Grelod the Kind. Did she come up with that name herself? Or was it the locals that decided to call her Kind? Because whoever came up with that name clearly doesn't know what she's like. Actually, you know what? I know what's happened here. I think there was more to her name, but she just rubbed it off the town walls where it had been graffitied. Her name is actually Grelod the Kind of an Asshole. And yes, I know they call her kind out of a sense of misplaced irony, but why don't they do something about it? Yeah, so the old woman down at the orphanage is being cruel to the kids there. Do something then. Well, I could, but I've got so much stuff to do, like... This old hag down at the Honor Hall orphanage spends most of her days abusing the children there, both emotionally and physically, and tells them that they'll never get adopted, mainly because she doesn't allow it. Not to worry though, because your friendly neighbourhood Dark Brotherhood assassin is here to help out those kids, by brutally murdering her right in front of them and totally not scarring them for life. It's okay now, kids, you're safe. Sinister Assassin, away!
Mambo number 5.
Braith! Whenever this kid starts talking to me, I always start thinking of football for some reason. I think this is because I would love to punt this kid in the face so hard that she'd go flying in the same way you'd kick a football, but that's just me, I suppose. I don't hate kids, I really don't. Braith is the exception, however. Braith is a little shit who doesn't listen to her parents and will spend most of her time giving grief to random passers-by, as well as bullying Lars Battleborn. Though she's only doing this because she secretly has the hots from him, she's not doing herself any favours. Going around the place and mugging off as many people as she can isn't showing the town of Whiterun that she's tough. She's showing herself to be the town's smallest, yet biggest asshole. Though she's gonna have to get in the queue because Nazim's already beaten her to the punch. Speaking of getting beaten to the punch... There, all better now. Harkon! Jesus, I completely forgotten about this guy. Is that so? Yeah, I thought I'd just let you know. Okay, buddy, stay awesome. Now, what would you say is the ideal night in with the family? Perhaps you'd start off with a delicious meal, then maybe move on to a new or favourite board game, and perhaps top it all off with a decent film to see you home? No? That sounds like it'd be dull and you want to do something that doesn't suck? Okay then, how about whoring your wife and daughter out to the god of corruption so that you can rape them until they literally die so hard that they come back as the undead? Was that along the lines of what you had in mind? Well, that's exactly what Harkon did to his family. The price of immortality is a heavy one, it seems, and even after achieving it, your problems don't end there. I also noticed that even after his daughter ups and disappears for several centuries with an Elder Scroll, even when she does finally come back home, Harkon is all like, "Ah, my long-lost Elder Scroll." Wait, who are you? Oh, that's right, my daughter or whatever. And his reward for you for bringing him both his daughter and an artifact that can rewrite the fabric of reality is to technically kill you. So your two options are, let Harkon kill you so you can become a part of the undead, or go join the Dawnguard who have crossbows. I think I'll join the Dawnguard, thanks. Delphine! I just don't get why this slag has a problem with me. I've just found out that I'm a Dragonborn, which means I have the power to defeat Alduin. So I guess that makes me pretty special, huh? Sure, I'm not going to go around tooting my own horn and letting everyone I see know how awesome I am. After all, I'm only here for the questing. But if you found out that the second coming of Jesus had just shown up and was trying to make the world a better place by stopping a world-destroying demon, would you then treat them like a c***? Because Delphine does just that. It doesn't matter what you do, you're just not meeting her standards. Go and kill that dragon. Yeah, okay, so you did that, but stop screwing around, we're on borrowed time here. Now put on this ridiculous outfit and break into an embassy. Yes, I know that's breaking several international treaties, just do as I say. And once you're there, I want you to head down into their torture chamber because I f***ing hate you, and that's where you belong. Then I want you to fight your way out without sparking an international war. And if you can get all of that done without screwing it up, then I want you to go up that mountain and kill Parthenax. But wait, that guy's okay. He helped me to get Dragon Rands, which helped me defeat Alduin. I don't want to hear it! I'm not asking for much. You should be able to do this. Don't question me! You know what, Delphine? You may be one of the last remaining members of the Blades, but you spend God knows how long running an inn. You're not exactly a seasoned adventurer yourself, so don't start getting up all in my face about who's boss around here, because while I'm out, you're either sparring or you're staring off into space. No, it's okay, I'll go save the world. You've clearly done your part by sweeping the f***ing floors. God knows where we'd be right now if those floors were dirty. Alduin might never have even wanted to go near them because of how much dust had been on them. Thank my lucky stars that we have you to save the day. Now get back in the kitchen and make me a sweet roll. Valen Dreth! All of Tamriel will know this arsehole's name. Valen Dreth! Valen Dreth! Alright, I'm tempted to end this video right now if you just shut up. Look, Oblivion is one of my favourite games of all time. I've said that before. But it didn't help that the first person we meet happens to be one of the biggest assholes in the game. The problem with Valen Dreth is that he's not so much of an asshole as he is a c***. Upon opening up Oblivion, BAM! You find yourself locked in a prison cell with a Dunmer right across you who's giving you grief. Actually, to go one step further, he's a massive racist. Regardless of which race you pick, unless you decided to play as a female Dunmer, he'll just talk about how much your chosen race sucks. And even if you do decide to play as a female Dunmer, he just tries to chat you up with these really sleazy pickup lines that screams rapist. I think it'd be best for the entire continent if you just lived out the rest of your days in the Imperial prison. Or if that's too much time, then
Good news, everyone!
you can actually kill him during a Dark Brotherhood mission. See, the Dark Brotherhood aren't so bad after all, if they're getting contracted to kill dickheads. However,
Another one bites the dust.
Gaenor!
Gay!
Is clearly the biggest dickhead on this list, as well as being one massive asshole. And it's a shame that the Morag Tong never contracts you to kill this guy. But then again, you'll probably have to out of necessity at some point anyway. Found in the Tribunal expansion of Morrowind, this asshole can be found in the temple courtyard in Mournhold. Upon seeing him for the first time, he'll ask you for some money. It's entirely up to you whether or not you give him money, but hell, I had to work for my money so you can shove off, pal. Also, that's quite a lot you're asking for. So he goes off, and when he sees you again, he'll ask for even more money. It soon gets to the point where he's asking for more money than you're actually carrying, at which point, he's had just about enough of you telling him that you're not going to give him tons of cash for nothing. Now decked out in full ebony armour, this wood elf will then proceed to attack the player. And he's not some weak-ass fighter either. In fact, it's more than likely that he's far stronger than you, and if you've saved just before this fight and have no other saves available, then unless you use console commands, your playthrough of Morrowind comes to an abrupt end. But I just can't fathom how this guy's managed to get by all this time. Wait a second! If he's carrying a full ebony armor set, then surely he doesn't need all of that money that he was asking for. What the f***? Gaenor tries to guilt trip the player into forking over all of their money for no good reason, and if the answer is no, then he'll kill you. I'm pretty sure that qualifies him for the #1 entry here and crowns him the biggest asshole on this list. And we're done for another video, but if you've been extorting money from people while wearing full ebony armor, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget that I'm on Twitter under my channel name, where you can find out which video will be next, as well as all the updates and which bullshit company is trying to get me to review their non-video game products now. And I'm also on Patreon if you'd like to support this channel further. See ya!
Life is killing me.